Okay, alright. I know what I said. The content this week would be Lego Indiana Jones. But for the next couple of weeks, I'm actually going to be posting Cuphead content. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, as the title reads, I'm ranking every Cuphead boss from easiest to hardest. If you want to just see what number 1 is and you don't want to watch the entire thing, I will have timestamps in the description of the video. But yeah, anyway, I'm also not going to be counting the delicious last course because I do not have that DLC yet. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get on with the video. Number 19. To absolutely no one's surprise, the easiest boss in Cuphead is the Root Pack. Now, I mean, it's obvious why this is the easiest. It's a starter boss to just get you going through the game, but for some reason, whenever I first started playing this game back in 2018, I could not beat this boss for the life of me. Well, I mean, I did, but it was just so incredibly hard for no reason, and I have no clue why I struggled on it so much as I did. But yeah, while I also rank these bosses, I'm also going to go over what I think is the easiest phase and their hardest phase. Now, the easiest phase for the Root Pack definitely is the little potato guy. I don't know their names, so sue me, so whatever. Yeah, but anyway, the hardest phase is definitely the carrot dude because, well, he's the only one with 2 attacks, so the little uni-beam thingy and the carrots. So, also, some people might not know this, but if you actually don't attack the onion, I think his name is like Loopy, if you don't attack him during his phase, like as soon as he pops up, you actually get to skip the phase, but I mean, with the carrot, you get a little radish to not to try to screw you over. So yeah, that's that. Then that's the Root Pack. Number 18. At number 18, we have Goopy LeGrand. Now, a lot of YouTubers that I've seen rank this game put the Root Pack over Goopy LeGrand, but I put Goopy over the Root Pack because the jumping is just unpredictable for me. Just like, I mean, he sometimes jumps high and sometimes he jumps low, and the length of the jump is different, so yeah. But he's still an easy boss nonetheless. Now, I'm just gonna go ahead and get straight to the easiest and hardest phases of this man, and the easiest phase definitely is the tombstone phase, where he's, well, just a giant tombstone, and you have to avoid his little slamming on the ground move. That's like his only attack, so yeah. And his easiest phase, we just covered his easiest phase. His hardest phase, is his second phase, whenever he's a big Goopy LeGrand. And because, well, it's basically just the first phase, except he's bigger, and I mean, his attack pattern is just slower. So. And he has that boxing glove. It's pretty much the same as the first phase, except just he's bigger, and yeah. That's really all for Goopy. That's Goopy LeGrand. Number 17. At number 17 is Hildeberg. Now, whenever I, again, first played this game back in 2018, I struggled with this boss so much, just like every other boss, but that's besides the point. But yeah, Hildeberg is now one of the easiest bosses in the game compared to all the others, but still, some of them are pretty easy, at least now. And, yeah, Hildeberg, there's not really much to say about her, but I mean, I do like her boss fight, how she can just randomly transform, well, in her second phase, she can just randomly transform into anything, with, like, the little, the guy with the, like, the bow guy, I swear to God, I forgot his name, and the girls with the spinning balls. Now, the hardest phase for me is, well, the girls with spinning balls, because the ball, where the bullet is random, so... Yeah, and the easiest phase is definitely whenever she's currently transitioning into whatever transform she's going to take next. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, that's Hildeberg. Number 16. At number 16 is Captain Brinybeard. Now, this is, honestly, it's a pretty easy boss. I like the mechanics of it, how he can just call one of his sea critters to come aid him in the form of battle, and I like the final phase where the ship just becomes the firing up my laser beam. I know, I'm cringe. Just shut up. But yeah, honestly, this is definitely the easiest boss of Inkle IO 3, and this is home to some of the hardest bosses. Dr. Cow's robot. But, yeah. The easiest phase for me definitely has to be his first few phases. That, I can't really tell which one is his first phase and his second phase, because he has like 4 phases, so I'm just gonna go which I think is his easiest attack to dodge, which is definitely the squid, because I mean, it can't even damage you. All it really does is just like blocks your screen. And the hardest phase, well, the final phase, obviously, because he technically only really has 2 phases. Because sometimes whenever you're just trying to hit the little tonsil, little tongue or whatever that is, the ship's tongue, and he fires up his laser beam, then and that little hammer thing, just like right there, can come down and just cancel your plans. It kind of sucks if you're trying to get an S rank. But, I mean, the little spinny fireball things also are kind of hard for me. But I mean, anyway, yeah, that's Captain Briny-Beard. Number 15. Okay, now this may come as a shock to some people, but number 15 is Grim Matchstick. Yeah, Grim Matchstick is known as, in the Cuphead community, as one of the hardest bosses in this game. And I know a lot of people struggle with it, but I'm mainly going off of my most recent playthrough that I did the other day. And I beat this boss in two tries. Yeah, 2 tries. Yeah, honestly, looking back at this boss, I honestly find it pretty easy, to be honest. Yeah, but the only real part that really annoys me is the first part here. Okay, but trust me, if this was back in 2020, I definitely would have put this boss as a number, as like in the top 5 or something. So yeah. But anyway, Grim Matchstick's easiest phase, it definitely has to be the second phase, because it's only one thing happening there. You just have to avoid the little fireball thingies that's coming out of his mouth, and which is pretty difficult. Which was pretty difficult at first, but once you get used to it and learn and just focus on them and not Grim Matchstick, then I mean, you focus on the clouds and then I mean, it's become pretty easy. And the hardest phase definitely has to be the third phase, because well, the fireballs, you just have to make sure not to shoot the fireballs, but you just have to make sure not to shoot the fireballs and watch out for the for Grim's flamethrower whenever that happens. So yeah. Anyway, that's Grim Matchstick for you. Number 14. Okay, so at number 14 we have Warner Warman. And okay, so this is an easy, moderate boss, mostly easy. I mainly just have trouble with the bombs and like the saws in the second phase, but other than that, it's a pretty easy boss. Now, the bombs. I just want to go on a rant about the bombs and how much I hate them so much. Okay, so if the bombs did not exist, this definitely would have probably been like after Briny-Beard or something. So, but yeah. Anyway, his easiest phase definitely is his final phase with the cat, and so the reason why I say that is because, well, I mean, there's really one thing going on. It's pretty easy to avoid, so you just have to avoid the falling floor tiles, and you have to avoid the ghost wormins. And the hardest phase is the second phase, mainly because of the saws. And so, yeah, because the saws can cover one side of the screen, and I mean, it's pretty annoying. So, yeah. But anyway, yeah. And that is Warner Warman. Number 13. At number 13 is Rumor Honeybottoms. Now, okay, this is where we're starting to get to the overall moderate level bosses. Yeah, we're leaving the easy bosses now. Yes, I consider Grim Matchstick an easy boss. I probably said that already, so shut up. Yeah, but anyway, one of the main problems that I used to have with this boss is whenever Rumor Honeybottom on her second phase, she would go into the middle and she would like spit those little bee missile thingies. I actually learned a pretty good way to avoid that. You just have to hug the wall. You have to hug the wall on whichever side you're on. So, yeah, and pretty easy. And so that just becomes pretty easy to avoid. So, yeah. Anyway, the easiest phase definitely has to be her first phase, where it's not even her. It's literally just like a little bee cop person. And hardest phase is her third phase, because, well, mainly because because say you're trying to get a super on her, and it's incredibly annoying. It's just so annoying to get a super on her while she's just down there. You should definitely get the most damage as you can while she's still just reading the book and transforming into the plane. So yeah, anyway, that's Rumor Honeybottoms. Number 12. Okay, so at number 12 is Djimi the Great. Now, back in 2020, whenever I had a huge Cuphead phase, which might honestly be coming back again, I saw this one guy rank all of the Cuphead bosses, and for the hardest one in Inkwell Isle 2 for him, it was Djimi the Great for some reason. So, yeah, in fact, that was the hardest in the entire game for him. Not disrespecting him, I was disrespecting him, obviously, because, I mean, some people find other bosses harder. I don't know how they found Djimi the Great the hardest, but anyway, yeah. Djimi the Great, for me, is number 12, the second easiest boss in Inkwell Isle 2, so, yeah. It's pretty moderate, yeah. It's pretty moderate. I like this boss. The hardest phase, definitely, for me, has to be, his final phase with the pyramids, and you have to avoid not only him, the pyramids, and his little ray that comes out of his hat. So, and the easiest phase has to be the second part of phase 1. I mean, the first part of phase 2. Sorry, got a little jumbled in my words there. So, but yeah, pretty much all you have to do for that is just shoot the pillars, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It was a hard decision to find out which one was the hardest phase, because I mean, either the Cuphead puppet or the actual final phase. Both of them are kind of hard, but I mean, it's fine. It's honestly okay. Okay, but anyway, yeah, that was Djimi the Great. Number 11. At number 11 is Cagney Carnation. Now, okay, another story from back in 2020. This definitely would have been the hardest boss for me, but recent changes have disproven that. It's still okay. The main reason this is in moderate and not easy, because the gun thing that she does, and whenever she summons those little seeds, I hate them. I hate that mainly because of the pink one. And most of the time I can never parry it, so it's just annoying. So, but yeah, anyway. Her her first phase consists of 3 other phases, which she just adds more attacks, so for her hardest phase, definitely her last phase, and her easiest phase, well, just like Briny Beard, I'm going to go for which attack I think is the easiest, which is definitely going to the acorns, because I find them pretty easy to dodge. So, yeah, that's Cagney Carnation, so not really much to say about her, but, yeah, anyway, it's Cagney Carnation, or him, whatever. Number 10. Starting off with the top 10 hardest bosses is Ribby and Croaks. Now, I actually, again, first time I played this story, I actually had a really hard time with them, like all the other bosses. But now, it's Cakewalk. Now, the reason why I put them as the hardest boss in Isle 1 is because during my most recent playthrough, it was the only boss that I actually died to, in Inkwell Isle 1. So, yeah, but anyway, their easiest phase definitely has to be their second phase, where they're just, I forgot their name, sorry, I'm just going to consider them as Green Frog and Brown Frog, where the Brown Frog is spinning around, and the Green Frog are just, and punching out those things, UFO-looking thingies. Yeah, but anyway, yeah, and the hardest phase definitely has to be their third phase, where they turn to a slot machine. I still have a lot of trouble. Well, not as much trouble, but I used to have a lot of trouble. But I mean, yeah, you get the point. And also, I'm going to rank their slot machine things from easiest to hardest. So the easiest is the bulls or the devils, and the second place is the snakes or frogs, and the hardest one is the tigers. So, yep. Anyway, that's Ribby and Croaks. Number 9. At number 9 is Beppy the Clown. Now, if you saw my channel during 2020, which not many people did, I absolutely hated this boss because I just could not beat it for the life of me. But now it's honestly pretty easy. Still pretty moderate, but anyway, yeah. But anyway, there's still not really much to say about this boss, so I'm just gonna go on and get to the easiest and hardest phases. The easiest phase definitely is the first phase, because you just shoot them and you have to avoid the little duckies, so yeah. And the hardest phase is the final phase, which is mainly the phase that I had so much trouble with whenever I first played this game. Well, first did my first completion run back in 2020. So, but yeah. The main reason why I found the final phase so hard is because of the little penguins that just throw baseballs. So that's the main reason why I found that so hard. But anyway, yeah, that's Pepe the Clown. Number 8. At number 8 is Sally's stage play. Now this would definitely be in like maybe I could put this before Grim Matchstick, but the main reason this boss is where it is because of the freaking second phase. I hate the second phase so much, it just makes my blood boil. The stupid cars. Whenever Sally pulls her umbrella and she does stupid toy cars thing, it's annoying. I hate it. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, that's like the really only problem I have with this. And so yeah, the easiest phase is the third phase. Well, I like the third phase because, well, you have either three things. You have the meteor, the big wave, or the lightning. And before recording this, I got Sally's stage play to our fourth phase, but she called a big wave immediately before she transitioned to her phases. So yeah, I died before I get to the fourth phase. So yeah, this isn't that footage, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, and yeah, the hardest phase, like I said, second phase. Anyway, that is Sally's stage play. Number 7. Okay, at the 7th hardest boss is Baroness von Bonbon. Now, this may come as a shock to you, but mainly because her first 3 phases are random, so you don't really know what you're gonna get, and you can master one, but absolutely suck at one, which is the case for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and rank all of the mini bosses that Baroness does. Weakest is the Jawbreaker. Second is 4th place, the Gumball Machine. 3rd place, the Chocolate Waffle. Second place, the Muffin, and 1st place, the Candy Corn. Now, her final phase is mediocre difficulty. This is the final moderate difficulty boss. So, yeah. Her hardest phase is definitely the Candy Corn. Why? Because it's just so unpredictable, and I mainly just suck at it. So, and the reason why I put this as the hardest boss in Goliath 2, well, the second hardest boss, I mean, is because whenever I played this recently, I just kept on dying at it, and I just sucked at it. But, yeah, anyway, the easiest phase is the Gobstopper Jawbreaker thing, and it's the easiest because, well, I mean, it just follows you around, and it's pretty easy to avoid. So anyway, that's the Baroness von Bonbon. Number 6. At number 6 is Wally Warbles, and is our first boss that I consider to actually be hard. Now, what makes Wally Warbles so hard in my book? Well, the first 2 phases, they're fine, they're pretty easy. But the last 2 phases, that's what really grinds my gears about this boss fight. Now, the little baby Wally is just mainly because the eggs in the baby Wally in his 3rd phase is just one of the things that I hate about it. And his final phase is whenever he just starts spitting out everything. I also hate that. Yeah, the second phase with whenever he's just doing the little feather thing, that's pretty easy. But anyway, the easiest phase is his first phase, obviously, and it's pretty basic. You just have to hug the wall the entire time. And his hardest phase is the 4th phase. And anyway, that is Wally Wobbles. Number 5. Okay, so at number 5 is Dr. Cal's robot. So, yeah, a lot of people in the Cuphead community can understand why this boss is so incredibly hard. There is so much going on in, like, all the phases except for Phase 2. And actually, I'm just gonna get it out of the way. Easiest phase, Phase 2. Because, well, it only really has one thing happening, where you just need to avoid his, the robot's flying head, and you're pretty much just good for that. So, anyway, yeah. Hardest phase might come to a shock to some people, but the first phase, because, like I said, there is a lot of stuff going on here. Not only do you have to take down his head, heart, his chest piece, his stomach piece. After that, you have to take out of his heart, and so you have to take out his heart. So that also sucks. Now third phase not as bad, because I mean, just like Wally Warbles, you only step up from Wally Warbles like the little feather thing that Wally does in the second phase. It just adds walls. So I mean, I don't really find that difficult after like training of it. But anyway, yeah, that is Dr. Cal's robot. Number 4. At number 4, we have Calamaria. Now, the reason why I put Calamaria over Dr. Cal's robot is because, well, you can only attack her in her head. So that's just annoying for some parts. And so it was also hard to decide which phase is her easiest phase to do. But I decided with her first phase, because, I mean, unlike the other 2 phases, it doesn't have this stupid freeze thing. So, and for her hardest phase, I decided that it is the second phase because of the stupid eels, and Calamaria can just freeze you there, and you can just get hit by 5 bullets at once. I know there's damage immunity, but yeah. Anyway, the first phase, I have to say, first phase is pretty hard to decide because all of the chaos that goes in it. Because, well, Calamaria can summon summon 2 sea creatures, a fish. She can either summon a fish or one of those pirate ghost things, or she can, and at the bottom she can summon a seahorse or a turtle. So, yeah. But anyway, that is Calamaria for you. Number 3. At number 3 is the Phantom Express. Now, I don't know why I had such a problem with this, as I did. Mainly because of the first guy. But that's mainly the reason, because of his eyeballs. I couldn't get just a good way to beat this level. I don't know. But I mean, I did beat the level. It's still pretty hard. Which is why it's a 3rd place. It is a good old third placer. But anyway, yeah. I like this boss fight mainly because it has like 4 different boss fights. So, yeah. The hardest phase for me definitely has to be the first phase, which probably isn't probably surprising, because, well, this is honestly kind of hard. So, yeah. But the easiest phase is second phase, because you can just cheese it the entire time. You can just stand in one spot and the hands won't even hit you on the skeleton guy. So, yeah, that's why I find the second phase so easy, because it's very, very, very cheesable. I also like the 4th phase, how you literally then actually fight the train. It's pretty challenging, but also pretty fun at the same time. So, yeah, anyway, that's the Phantom Express. Number 2. At the second hardest boss fight in the game is King Dice. Now, King Dice's boss fight on his own definitely would be in like the easy or moderate category, mainly near like Werner Warman or something. But I'm actually counting the whole level as a whole. So if you want me to do a Baroness von Bonbon here and just rank all of the mini bosses, that is actually going to be its own separate video. So yeah. Anyway, whenever I first played this, I did have a trouble with this, but now it's honestly pretty easy, because you just have to jump on cards and shoot King Dice, because that is really King Dice's only attack. So, yeah, since he only really has 1 phase, yeah, that's King Dice. Number 1. So, to maybe some people's surprise, and also not a lot of people's surprise, the hardest boss in this game, at least for me, is the devil. Now, the other bosses I have mastered, maybe kind of King Dice, but the main reason devil is number one is because I can just... Some of his attacks, man, I just cannot. Like that stupid goat attack where he covers the entire floor. Like, me and my friend have a playthrough of this game, and we beat, mostly me, have beaten every single boss except for the devil, because he is just so ridiculously hard. Thing is, whenever I was trying to get an A rank on this to get the King achievement, I actually beat him in 3 tries, so I don't know where that spark of just godness of this game came from me, but yeah. The hardest phase for me definitely is his first phase, because like I said, it's unpredictable. Just, you can master some moves that he does, and you just can't some. And one of them that I cannot master is his fireball spinny thingy. I just hate that one. And his 6 fireball thing, I also hate that. His easiest phase is definitely his fourth phase, because, well, it lasts like 5 seconds, so. Yeah, the main struggle with that one is that it's only one, and the poker chips are just flying in only one direction. So, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, that was my Cuphead boss ranking. So if you did enjoy, make sure to subscribe for the next, like I said, for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to be posting Cuphead content. So, yeah. Anyway, like, subscribe, and watch Color Splash and vote on it before it is too late. So anyway, goodbye.